She's intelligent, tenacious, super extra, and she speaks her mind. She's a girl's girl and a guy's homegirl. She's a wife, a mom, a daughter, a sister, and a ride or die friend. She's stronger than most, a diva, a trendsetter, and an entertainer. She stands firm for what she believes in. She is the Maven.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to A Maven's Tale. So here she is, everybody. The guest of honor, my sister Shoshana Hobson.
Are you gonna use
Your government?
my whole name? You know everybody calls me Shauna.
Shauna. So Shauna has recently come out of the closet about lifelong struggles that she has had with stuttering. And she is making a book series. It's called Eliza's Story. I am so proud of her because of the fact that she actually came out and said it to everybody on social media. And I always call
which is rare.
Which is rare. She does not share anything. She's a very private person. She's secretive, even with me. She's 2 years older than I. I always called her Ethan Hunt. And those of you that don't know who Ethan Hunt is the main character in Mission Impossible. Ethan. That Shauna is played by Tom Cruise. Shauna, I used to tell her all the time when we was younger, when she had her place in the Queens, that I swear when I leave the house, she pushes a button and like a whole nother room opens up to like a command center. I swear to you. I just like
anyway, exaggerating.
Anyway, so because of the fact that she's so secretive, I wanted her to be my first guest because of the fact that I feel that this is groundbreaking for her. This is something that she's never done. And the fact that now she's ready to share her story. I said, which better way to share the story than with your own sister?
Yes.
Okay. So just really quick, I just want you to tell everybody how you started stuttering and why now you're ready to tell your story.
Well, why now is because I felt like it's something that I allowed to hold me back for so long. I allowed this to stop me from speaking in public because even to say my own name is hard. So when at work and there's a board meeting or something or a big group or a training and they ask and they start to ask everybody to go around, I will find a way to either leave.
Like,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
I'll be right back.
I'll go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Like, I'll do that. My heart starts to race. I get nervous and, it overtakes me. And I got tired of that. Mm-hmm. So because I feel like you either love me or leave me alone. Like, in my brand new kid, you gotta love me or leave me alone, So because I didn't want to feel bound by that thing, so I said, I'll share because I've always written like stories and cards and stuff. So I felt like what way than to go back to when I was a child, mm-hmm. and sort of what would I tell myself then that I know now. And I can honestly say writing this book has been like therapy, because if I'm at work, or if I'm, if I'm with the family or whatever, and I want to do something, or they rather I'm asked to do something, the me now would be like, no, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to talk. No, I don't want to. But then I'm just like, how I can't tell this child, Aliza, who is some is
your Sasha Fierce?
Some is named after me. Aliza is my middle name. I'm just like, I cannot tell her she's strong and she's beautiful and she can do whatever, and I not do the same as the adult me. So
makes sense.
That's why I started to write the book. I was tired, so I didn't want to be held down anymore. And I mean, I started to stutter as a child, and I think I found out when I was like 12 or 13 that.
About what age?
Huh?
About what age do you think
that I started to stutter?
Yeah.
It was slight as a child, but I think more so it started to show a lot more when I went to junior high school.
Okay.
So that was like 10, what? 10, that 11. Was 10, 11.
Yeah.
So, and when we found out what was the cause of the stutter, it was because I saw an argument, a heated argument between my mom and dad, that just seeing that experience at 2, it sort of led to, me wanting, I wanted to say stop, but I couldn't.
You couldn't get the word.
I'm 2. I couldn't just. Yeah. So that was I guess the thing that started it. But that leads me to why I'm so adamant about never argue in front of your kids. Y'all can have an all-out, drag-out fight. Just don't do it in front of your children. So because you never know what that will, or
how it will manifest.
How it will, right.
Yeah. In the future.
My
oldest son, like you always say, I had my kids for you.
Yes, you did. But she had her 2 for me.
As far as I recall, not near one of these stretch marks that I got from either one of these kids, she got on her body. That's all I'm saying. I don't remember not near one stretch mark being transferred over to her for these children. But either way, with my oldest, who is now 21, his father and I used to argue in front of him when he was a baby. And, we were young, we made mistakes, and there was a time when my son, we had to take him to a speech therapist because he started to stutter as well.
And I knew it was my fault. And I just knew it was my fault.
She took all of that on her shoulders and was just like, if it's not me, because he's around me. And, And
I just knew it was my fault.
And it wasn't, you know, even she had to actually come to
and talk to the therapist. The therapist had to talk to me.
She had to get therapy from the therapist for her nephew. Like, who does that? You know, she got to get therapy from the therapist for her nephew to tell her it ain't your fault.
It ain't your fault. Because I knew it was my fault.
Yeah. He definitely grew out of it.
Yeah.
But I think that I was definitely more aware, of what happens when you, you know, because when I had him, I was a baby myself. You know what I'm saying? I was married. You know, I was almost a child bride. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? You know, but I was young, didn't know no better. We were both young, so we made mistakes, and but he grew out of it, and you were able to breathe and know that was not your fault. You know, amen. But that, I think that's a very good, a very profound message that your story can carry to other people. Because I know sometimes we're all in public and we see how some mothers and fathers be going at each other, and
I'm just like, no, don't
at the kids like that. You know,
please don't do it.
Yeah. And sometimes you just want to be like, sis, you know what? Why don't you go and count to 10? Go breathe, do some breathing exercises. I got little man, even though you don't even know him.
You don't know him, right? But you
just want to like, I got little man. You know, take 10, 20 minutes. You know, do some meditation, and then come back. You know, because I don't want little man to grow up to be angry.
Right.
You know. Man.
No, and I totally understand, because it's just like, we, as you know, when you're married or engaged, or your boyfriend and girlfriend, or you know, whatever, in that moment, in the heat of the moment, you don't care. Like, you just want to argue, you just want to fight, but you just
and do nothing.
Exactly.
You know.
But I just say, when there's kids involved, I just, ask that everyone just be more mindful.
Make better choices.
Yeah.
When we were younger, I just remember me being, we were definitely very protective of each other when we were younger. But like, if anybody would like look like they were trying to clown you or trying to come at you or laugh or whatever, I would be ready to pounce. Like, I would, and this was even before I knew what pouncing was. Like, I was ready to, gut, turn so that the wound won't close. You know what I'm saying? You don't mess with my sister, and vice versa. But you were more of the Debo effect from Friday, with the white socks and the grandpa slippers and the grandpa slippers. But it got to be the ones that grandpa used to wear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Raised by a phenomenal mom.
Yes, we were.
They don't make them like they don't make them like that. I'm like, too often, that's a rare breed. She did it with the help of our grandparents. Were there through every step of the way. They came to
round of applause for grandparents. Mom.
They came to every show we had. They were at every graduation. Everything we ever did, it was our mom, our grandparents, our aunts, our uncle. Like, they were always
we had
there.
The village.
Right. We definitely had definitely. So it was like, even though our father wasn't there, I sort of didn't know like it didn't feel as much because
as a loss or a
he had grandpa.
Yeah. So just to
Some and our uncle.
Just to clarify, after that situation of the intense moment between our mother and our father,
she told him
that was the last
he had
time.
to go. Yes, she told him he had to go.
You know,
that was it.
To the left,
yeah.
You know, everything you own. You know, he left, and after that, we really didn't see him at all.
Right.
And but we, like she said, we had a very strong village. So speaking of that village, what were some of the good memories in your lifetime?
Well, some of the good memories. Well, we had a lot. It was so much to name. Like we had a extremely good childhood. Extremely.
Yeah.
You know, we had a great childhood, even though it was just a mom. But we went places, and so but one I can honestly say was our elementary school. We were
which will not be named. Will not be named.
Our elementary school in Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Flatbush. PK all day.
Yes. The principal, Maven Robertson. The assistant principal, Robert. Yes, Robertson. Yes. The assistant principal, Marilyn Reed, our mom. We had, the teachers and staff, the parents.
Alan, Tora.
Yes, Hobson.
Hagler.
Yes, Payne.
Oh my
Duncan.
God.
Yes. Yes. It was just, the list goes on.
Yeah, you can't even mention them all.
Right. And they made sure we knew who we were each and every day. Like I have friends now that ask me, I'm like, how do I know all of these things about our history? Is because it was ingrained in us from childhood.
Yeah.
So I know who I am. So now as an adult, because each day as we are Black in America, and we know what that entails. But I have that, or rather, we had that foundation.
Which
so
I think
today I know who I am.
It definitely contributes to the level of pride that we have within ourselves, even though we have our own little idiosyncrasies.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like everybody has. But as far as knowing who we are and the stock that we came from, I think that was a huge thing. We had this thing in the school that shall not be named, where we would say every morning, I am somebody, I will learn, I can and will achieve. And we would also sing the Black National Anthem every morning. So at 5 years old, I knew
all
every
the words
voice and sing, till earth and heaven, and there's people now that don't even know, like, what? Whose song is that? And now that we're doing the social distancing at home, and I have to now do Winky. We start off with lift every voice and sing, because I want him to know that. But a lot of kids nowadays have no idea what that is, unfortunately.
I still have one other good thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Now, I'm sure it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But dance.
Dance, yes.
Dance was ingrained in me from before I was born. My mom danced with me till she was almost due, and then
She danced with
after.
us. Because
Okay,
she danced
well,
with me too.
but this is not your memory. This is
Me.
mine. Thank you. This is my memory.
Okay, my bad.
So she danced with me till she was almost due. Then she danced with me after she gave birth. She danced with me on her back, and I danced in schools until I danced all the way up until college, and then after that, I sort of stepped back from the being in the front, and then I just taught dance to the kids at the school that shall not be named.
Yes.
And at our church at the time, I did teach dance there as well. So, but that was me, and I think I chose dance, or sort of I made sure that that was such a big part of me because I was able to express myself without speaking. I could express myself
That
and
was
not
the
ever say a word. So
yes.
I wanted to share that.
Yes, come through, Revelation. Come through. Well, I mean, this was something that I thought of when I was preparing my notes as far as our childhood goes.
Okay.
I'm going to get into the church part. He was talking about our mom and how she was, a very strong woman and able to raise us, the way she did. However, mommy was in church a lot. Mommy was married to, even though she was not married, she was married to the school that shall not be named, and the church.
And the church, yes, she was. Yes.
And she would be in church almost every day of the week.
Yeah.
Almost every day of the week.
Because it started off as just like Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Then when she became a trustee, then it became
girl bye,
a lot more. But then it also led us to then be a part of like the youth ministries and the choirs and all of that. Yeah. So then we were there all the time as well, right?
Yeah. But I thought about this.
Okay.
Because growing up in Flatbush, obviously back then, it wasn't the easiest of places to live. It wasn't considered the suburbs, or
the best,
the best part of Brooklyn, because we did share our time between Flatbush and Brownsville.
Brownsville, right.
Because we were like that village, we had guy friends. Like we didn't really have girlfriends like that. I don't think I really had girlfriends like that until high school. Until high school.
Me,
yeah. Until high school, it was always the guy friends, and you and I were a hip hop duo. Do you remember? Called Nia and Nasia.
Nasia, yes, I remember.
And we thought we was gonna be the next Salt-N-Pepa.
Salt-N-Pepa, yes, we did.
Do you remember that? How when mommy would go
that
to
was
church,
a short window.
Short-lived. But I thought about that. I was like, yo, Nia and Nasia in action is back. Remember?
I don't remember
and she takes a heart attack.
I don't remember any of that.
That we was gonna be the next.
I don't remember that. Oh, but okay. I gotta remember the ride.
We have dance battles.
Yeah, dance battles. Yeah, okay. I remember that.
And all of this was happening, and mommy was none the wiser because mommy was at church.
She was at church.
We could have been in the house running coke out the house.
She said that that she knew that we had our friends over, but um, but after the fact, she found out like way after.
Really? She knew?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because our neighbor upstairs.
Miss Diane!
She told her. Yeah, she told her. Yeah.
Oh, snitch.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, water under the bridge now.
Yes.
So, church.
Mm-hmm.
Church played a pivotal role in our childhood and adulthood.
Very much so.
So let's fast forward to that adulthood.
Okay, yeah, because I was just like, which part of church?
As children, as children and adults, we were head of the dance ministry and
the choir.
Yeah. and
the praise and worship
team, yeah. So we did all of that.
Yes.
And
the youth ministry.
And the youth ministry. Don't forget about that.
Yes.
But as adults, ironically, you and I both married musicians from
Very
the
young
church.
Very young. Mm-hmm. And I think that the church played a part in, the Bible says buried is much better to marry than to burn. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like if you started to date, the old folks would say, okay, well y'all been, it's time for y'all to get married. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I think back and I'm just like, I see who I am now. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, what in the world was I thinking?
I say the same thing.
Why did I do that?
And sometimes I look at mommy, I be like, so you really just let me do that, huh?
But see, they said, the thing I can't stand about people is that they'll tell you after the fact. Mm-hmm. I knew it wasn't gonna work, but the reason why I didn't tell you was because you wouldn't have listened.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
Yeah. So I was married at 23. Mm-hmm. Separated by the time I was 25, or almost, and divorced by the time I was 26. Right. You got, yeah.
I got married at 20 and had a baby at 21.
Yes, my baby.
Where they do that at? Where they do that at?
But again, I think it's because, especially back then, it was more restricted, so it was just like you had to do these things because this is what the church said. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes the church, one thing I think the church and God are two different things.
Come on.
Ha! But hey. But when you're in the church, they can't see that.
Yeah.
It's all as one. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, no, the church is this, and then God is this.
So would I be overstepping, or would I be going too far if I was to say, you can't stand church people, can you?
Now? Oh no.
Yeah, I can't stand church people. High five. Give me some. Yeah.
Can't take church people. Mm-hmm. But again,
now, people of God,
those That's totally different.
Yeah. Come on, somebody.
That's something that's, but
Hey.
church. I'm talking about the church, religious, because I never forget.
Judgmental.
Yes. And which is why so many people have had issues with church.
Yeah.
There are two hurts that take people forever to get over. Family hurt and church hurt.
Come on, somebody.
Those things will take you a lifetime heal from.
Hey.
They will take you forever to heal from.
Well, I said that you and I both married musicians and that you got a divorce. Do you think that you got a divorce because of the whole, because back then the musician circuit in Brooklyn was just like this big. Right. And everybody knew everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Yeah.
And the big churches or the main churches in Brooklyn were, a select.
They all knew each other. Yeah.
Right. So all the musicians knew each other.
Right.
And even now, like in the church and in just the regular industry, everybody wants a musician. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a musician, or everybody wants a pastor or somebody in a position of power because they think they're getting a prize. But
you may be. You just may be. From my experience.
Yeah. Well, as my brother says, they think they're getting a prize, and they're getting a prize and they're getting a surprise. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Do you think that the church was instrumental in you guys getting a divorce?
No, I did that because I got some sense.
Okay.
And, it's not a secret, and I've never made it a secret. So my ex-husband had a baby with a friend. So I was just like, I'm out, like I can't do this.
Don't miss part 2 of next week's episode of
That smoke can still come 20 years later. I don't care.